These are the opinions of three guys. No, not special guys, not rich guys, not even extraordinarily handsome guys. Just three regular guys who said we ain't famous, but fuck it. Let's start a podcast.
It's just different.
What up? Welcome back to We Ain't Famous. We are on season 2, episode number 3. It's your boy Deezy, here with my homeboy Jay the Letter, my homeboy Man Socks, and our homegirl Miss Morgan. She don't like that name. Give her a new name in the comments. We'll figure this all out.
I'm saying we go with Morganita.
I like the Morganator.
The Morganator, Morgatron.
Yeah, Morgatron.
I like Morgatron.
Yeah.
I think that's the route we go, but
we're going to work this thing out today.
Yeah. But what up with the We Ain't Famous family? What up?
That's when you're supposed to hit the thing, engineer. Yeah, there we are. All right, so we got a couple cool segments here for you today. We're gonna do a rundown.
Yep.
Man Sox is gonna give you that, and then I'm gonna give you some stupid ass news, and then Miss Morgan is gonna give you I don't remember the pressure.
And your point is?
There it is.
Where we're just going to argue about some shit.
We're going to argue about some shit, and it's going to be called And Your Point Is.
Yep.
And then Jay is
I'm going to give it to you real good.
We're going to do a little more of I'm the asshole.
That's one.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to limit myself to 3 again today.
Right.
I don't think I didn't use all 3 last time.
They don't roll over.
They carry over. They're like,
I don't know if
use it or lose
they're
it.
like, no. They're like food stamps. Those carry over.
No.
The food stamps carry over to what?
To the next month.
I never had them myself. I bought them.
Black.
I bought them from crackheads.
I'm going to tell you what. Look,
I bought them from crackheads a lot.
I'm a food. Hey, I was a food
That's
stamp
illegal,
baby.
but
That's how I grew up.
Hey,
Right?
work
We
for
have
the damn
food
government.
stamps.
Don't snitch.
All right, it's the first of the month.
Wake up.
Yeah. Anyways, let's kick it off. I'm gonna go to just take on the first segment.
No, let's go with the rundown. Let's get the current. So we're gonna do the rundown, which is gonna be current events, and then we'll do some stupid news.
Okay.
Rundown.
And are you guys interjecting at all, or am I just going?
Hell yeah, we're interjecting.
Run it down, and then do we let him run it down, or do we interject as he does it?
I think you meant Brendel. Are you gonna interject?
No.
I am reformed. I'm a reformed loudmouth.
He's not reformed. That's a lie.
All right. First things first.
I don't even say N-word anymore.
Trump got arrested, right? He's facing 34 felony charges. It equals to 134 years if he's convicted of all of them. He pled not guilty, and he can still run for president if people are asking. It has been done before.
You have to be convicted to not be able to.
Ooh, I didn't look into that far.
I thought if you were a convicted felon, you could not run for president.
I believe that's accurate.
Yeah, he won't be.
It
won't be resolved by the election.
Yeah,
so
that shit
don't matter anyways. Thoughts on that? Oh, hey. Anybody?
So, yeah, I wish they would release his mugshot. Number one, I know. I wish they would have done one and then released it because every other person has to have that. But I think it's kind of petty, considering the other charges that he's facing, especially with Georgia. But I'm incredibly happy to see it happen. He needs to be held accountable. I think a lot of people are calling it political persecution, and I don't think they understand what that means. People who were politically persecuted made statements that the government did not like, and they were imprisoned for that. Political persecution does not mean that somebody in politics
is being persecuted.
Is being charged with a crime that they committed. Also, just quick side note, it really annoys me when he refers to his own actions as lawful when they weren't. He's talking about very lawful papers that I kept. No, it's not lawful. That's why your ass is in court.
Hold on. I know this is supposed to be a quick segment. What the fuck is going on? I've seen the headlines.
Hold on. I'm going to second that notion.
What's going on? What is the issue?
Currently, he's in New York, or he was arrested in the state of New York? For paying hush money to Stormy Daniels, the poor store.
With government money.
Well, and the issue is that he used campaign funds to pay her off to change the election, the outcome of the election. That's where it kind of boils up to. So he's got 34 charges of falsifying business records, but kind of the overall theme is that he paid off Stormy Daniels to not come out and talk about the fact that he had an affair with her, which probably wouldn't have, but could change the election outcome.
Now, his supporters, the motherfucker said he would to just grab women by the coochies.
Yeah.
And they just kept kicking it with him.
100%. He shouldn't have paid that money. They don't care. They don't care. They wouldn't have cared about that either.
That's the worst part about it. It's like literally, we had this conversation, and I'm like, two things. You could have just paid with your own fucking money. And the other thing is, or you said it yourself before you ever ran, that you could kill their fucking babies and they would still vote for you. Why did it change? You didn't kill no one's baby. You just pumped an escort chick. You know what I mean? Like, your people be like, yeah, that's the American way. And they'd be cool with it.
It kind of is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Porn stars and bribes.
America. It's about par for the course, baby.
Yep.
All right, that covers that. Next one, I know we're going to get into this. Hopefully not too deep. LSU winning national championship, right? Big thing is Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and the big controversy behind it. Most important piece of the whole thing, 10 million viewers, more than, I think, any All-Star game over the last year, and more than every Thursday night football game over the last season. So kudos to them.
Way to go.
Fantastic.
That's what we should be talking about, but we're not.
Yep, and I think we're going to get into this a little bit later in the.
What's your
and your point is?
We're going to do it 2 seconds. Okay.
But just curious, just for everybody, a quick gauge on kind of where you are.
I'm with Reese.
If you had to say Reese or Clark, where are you at? Rendell?
Reese.
Man socks?
Yeah, Reese, if we're breaking it down.
I'm going with Reese.
Oh, shit. I thought you were going with Clark.
But here's the thing. I don't think it...
See, and that's where things got confused, and we will clarify.
All right, we'll talk about it.
I think we'll get into it because I feel like people are looking at this as something completely
different. Don't
different.
What it is.
You know,
let's talk about it later. Let's have
Yeah, and I was gonna say, Clark came out with a statement and said, I don't care that she did that. So I think saying Clark's side is a little misleading. But I will say I'm on the side of I didn't like Reese's behavior, so I'll say Clark because of that.
Samesies. All right, that covers that. Next one here is terrifying if you dive into it. So about 7 different major countries have decided to no longer convert their currency to the U.S. dollar before they, deal with each other, and that obviously drives the dollar up. So that number is going to keep growing. Dollar is in bad shape. It is terrifying. I didn't think there would be too much on that. Shooting in Nashville, everybody knows about it, but we got to bring it up, right? 3 kids, 3 adults.
Can we just talk about real quick? I just shout out to the Gen Z population in Nashville. They have stormed the Capitol. They're peacefully protesting. And they're standing up for their rights. And I mean, this generation is going to overtake the boomers. So, it's just a matter of time, and it's a matter of getting our youth out to the polls to vote. And they're the first thing in a really long time that's made me feel like we have hope for change in this country. And as a parent of 2 children, it is terrifying sending my kid to school, especially end of the year, before breaks, after breaks. Those times are especially scary. And I just am so touched and proud of the youth that is there standing up. And also the bullshit politicians that they have over there censuring the Democratic politicians that stood with the students. I think need to have a lawsuit filed against them.
We got deep.
Wait, we're talking. Wait. Did I miss something? We're still talking about the American dollar, right?
No, I'm going to say. What did we talk about?
The shooting.
The
shooting in Nashville.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So just had to mention it.
Yeah, you go so deep. I'm like,
she's
so damn informative.
How are you going to skip over the millennial generation, though?
Millennials are trying. But we can't do it without Gen Z.
We're too stressed, okay?
No, because all right.
We have anxiety.
Y'all let us know that we all have issues.
We have anxiety.
We have anxiety. Right? We're on the spectrum. It's like everything.
Somebody said millennials can't have midlife crises because every goddamn day of our life since 9/11 has been a crisis.
Yeah, the crisis generation.
Yeah, and France is seeing what Christine is talking about big time right now. If you're not paying attention to what's going on over there, it's pretty insane. They're amassing 2 million people at a time in the streets protesting.
For the retirement age?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so they tried to
increase...
We'll
be doing that sooner or later, too.
Yeah, they try to increase their retirement age from 62 to 64. Meanwhile, what is it here?
65, I believe, the same as us, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So good for them.
While it kind of relates to Christine's topic, Christina Ballerini, I think is her first name, right? Christina Ballerini was the host at
Kelsey.
Kelsey, there it is. Kelsey Ballerini.
Please sign me up for that job.
Yes. Kelsey Ballerini was hosting the CMT Awards, which Country Music Awards,
that's
right?
Why I don't know shit about this.
But Megan Thee Stallion was there. Just saying.
She was. And kind of a big deal because she brought drag queens.
Hip-hop, might as well go to country.
Yeah. She brought drag queens on stage, and she also had a little segment where she was calling for some gun reform. Big deal because
in
she
Texas
was in.
too.
Yeah, I thought it was Nashville. Was it
I'm
in
pretty
Texas?
sure
Houston. Houston.
Yeah, it was in Texas. I think she's from Tennessee.
Okay, that's what it is. So that was a big deal, right? Country Music Awards. That seems a little.
You won't take my.
A little different from their usual like look and aesthetic. I think.
You know what was kind of cool too is she was singing a song that it's really about friendship, and kind of the chorus line is, "If you go down, I'm going down too," and it's kind of like, you know, just friendships and a little bit of talk about murdering husbands and stuff. But, you know, for her to be up there.
Yeah, let's promote domestic violence, baby.
I thought that was a lesbian theme song. Like, if you go down, I go down too.
Yeah, that's what, I'm not going to lie, that's what's going on in my head right now. I was like, wait a second.
No, but yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. And, you know, even the country music community is, you know, it's very divided. You have Maren Morris, who is kind of on the side of transgender and drag queens and stuff, and you have like Jason Aldean and his crew who are completely anti, you know, anybody living anything other than what they live, I guess. So it was really brave.
They're using Jesus. That's not how God.
Yeah, I think they're pretty religious. Yeah, but they kind of claim it under the guise of like child abuse, you know, like if you let your child be trans, it's child abuse. So
if you
it was really cool for her to stand up.
If your child was like, I want to be a boy, no, you're going to be a girl, that's child abuse. But if your child's like, I think I'm a girl, and you supported them, that's just called being a supportive parent, I'm pretty sure. And I don't think that it's easy, because I'm going to tell you now, it wouldn't be easy for me. If I'm being honest, if my son was like, hey, Dad, I want to wear a dress, and what? Well, we're not going to go deep in this.
Then can he have sequins?
But why?
The sequence.
Then can he have sequins?
It's going to be tough on you.
Follow up from the last conversation where Daisy does not want his son to wear sequins. If he's trans, can he have them?
I don't care if you rub it and it turns into fucking Mia Khalifa. I don't care.
Stop.
I'm just being honest.
I know, but it's just
here's the thing.
Such a
if I'm going
minute
to sit here,
thing
I'm going to be. I don't care. I'm going to be honest. That's just honestly how I feel.
That's fine.
And here's the thing. I even know it's ridiculous. Like in my head, like you're fucking ridiculous. But I can't. If the emotion's still there, then I'm gonna be honest about it. I'm the same way like religion. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I believe in the sky daddy. And if I did, I'd be telling you. But if I can't lie to you just to make you feel good, I'm gonna be honest.
That is correct.
My son ain't gonna fucking rub on his chest and it turn into a fucking unicorn. It ain't gonna happen.
Why does it have to be a unicorn though? It could be a football.
I said it could be. I told you it could turn into Mia Khalifa for all I care.
What about at Disneyland? Will you make an exception for Mickey Mouse on the big day at Disneyland?
No, he can just print a damn shirt that has Mickey Mouse on it.
But he wants.
But it doesn't flip. It doesn't flip from sequence to not.
All right, we're moving.
We can rub it and it gets warm and then it changes and then you can see
We're
it.
moving.
Yeah,
it's not going to change. It's not going to change.
And exiting this combo.
You're not going to get me out of that.
Exactly.
Maybe one day.
Johnson & Johnson was ordered to pay $8.9 billion in the largest class action settlement ever. Because it turns out that talcum powder does in fact cause cancer.
9.8 billion?
8.9
billion. Go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Largest ever.
And they knew about it? Do you know if they knew about it?
That's a big part of it is they had data that suggested that was the case that they overlooked, which
they
is
knowingly sold
fucking
it.
crazy
That's-
to think about.
Who
And guys,
more than money? Whoever called that shot, they asked me to get locked up.
listen, this is the largest, but
who cares if some
they
babies
only
get cancer?
beat themselves they were at 6 last time. This time was 8.9 billion. It's a recurring theme.
Real quick question: what is talcum powder used for?
I think it's it used to be on the inside of gloves, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like
for babies, you would put
Like
it,
a moisture
you put it on
absorber.
you put it on the inside of their thighs to keep them from chafing.
It was in baby
Would
powder.
it have been different if they said, "Hey, look, this shit's gonna make you get cancer, but it's gonna also make you feel good"?
This is in a long
No, it doesn't
chain
make
of-
any. I mean,
Well, that's what Segway say.
The
right?
stamps on stuff
Yeah.
that says California recognition,
Yeah.
and that's on everything for California. They think everything gives you cancer.
But what if
Everything.
what if they said, hey, we have statistical data saying that this may
that's
cause
what
cancer?
that thing on the site is.
Oh,
That,
but
that disclaimer right there negates
that's
any
what-
kind
but
of
they have it on the bottom?
responsibilities. Well, I think that's the problem is that they didn't have something like that.
Okay. I was going to say, because if it's on the bottom and you make your own decision and
Yeah,
use
it's like
that's a
smoking
complete.
warnings, you know?
That was going to be my point. Like
Yeah.
the cigarette companies, right? They say, hey, this could cause cancer.
Yeah,
but it's
eventually,
like-
after they were sued to shit, then they started warning people.
Yeah.
So,
And they
do you
pay
know
stuff
who's
like
being
this.
paid out? Is it individuals that had cancer, or
yeah, I would assume, or states that were a part
I
of
don't
the
have
lawsuit.
cancer, but can I
Yeah,
get in
I
on
was
that?
probably
Just like a
used-
little
it's
mill,
probably used
just
on
a little mill.
Billion. And listen, they will not bat an eyelash.
Nope.
Hey, but since we're talking about cancer, did you know that there's a black woman who has found a new treatment for cancer utilizing satellites? We want information? I'll tell you.
Yeah, I would like some more
potential
details.
fund for potential cancer laser treatment. For the last 5 years, Dr. Hadia Nicole Green, a physicist and cancer researcher, has fought to fund her cancer treatment technology. Green has peer-reviewed studies on her research, which is still in the early stages. Let me see if I can go to where it talks about what it is. Green launched nonprofit support. God dang, it was on TikTok. I forgot what it was, but basically she said like if we have the technology of cell phones and the waves that we get from cell phones from satellites. She's like that if they can pinpoint your location, you could also use them to pinpoint treatment. What in the heck?
Sorry, I'm
You're messing up my
joining.
life.
My bad. I'm joining the
Jason,
live.
Jake had that autoplay on.
There's people commenting, so I'm
Yeah.
just joining the live just to kind of see what's
so
going
somehow
on.
using the satellites technology to pinpoint the exact location, because we can pinpoint the exact location of a person on Earth, you can pinpoint the location of a cancer cell within a person's body. So she somehow correlated that. It was on TikTok, but
Sounds right.
she's now found funding. She didn't get murked yet. I thought for sure.
I was gonna
she's
say,
gonna
dude,
get murked.
that's gonna be sad. But if it does, knock on wood, it don't happen. But if it does, like,
I think what you're gonna
that's
see
just-
is
that's just
it's gonna be a doctor.
suspicious.
I'm worried about being a Dr. Stebbing situation. I take CMOS.
Okay, you don't take Jamil's?
No, not the
Minerals? Drop a link, Jamil.
Not
Drop a
snake
link.
doctor. Not snake doctor.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
First trip to the moon in 50 years. Pretty
We never went in the
interesting.
first place.
Right,
What?
I
Can you
know.
imagine?
I know.
What? Wait.
Stanley-
We went to the moon recently.
Stanley
Where the-
Kubrick made a movie.
They're like, nothing has changed.
Dude, like, where the fuck have I been? Like, all of these topics, like, I'm like,
Oh, I feel like you.
dude, what in the fuck?
We're checked out.
Like,
No,
what
that
has
was
been
the whole
going
point
on?
of this news. Is I was trying to find stuff that would be interesting, but that you have not
What
heard. Right?
in
I'm not
the-
trying to just go through the nonsense.
I want to go to the moon.
So yeah, first trip to the moon in 50 years. Very diverse crew going up.
Monkey?
I don't. No, I don't think monkey.
We don't
I
do
think it's
that.
4 people. I don't know what they're going up there for, but it's very interesting, right? We haven't been up in
Aliens?
50 years. Nobody else has been up there. Why?
So since the walk on the moon, is that 50 years ago?
Yes.
We've never gone back?
No.
Hey, did you guys know? I just learned this
And
recently.
they had less technology than our phones have.
Jesus Christ. I just learned recently. Did you guys know that moon is about a quarter the size of the Earth? I thought it was like small compared to the Earth, and I learned it was because,
small?
well, because in in pictures,
Tell me how small.
like, you know,
Like, what's
if
the
the Earth is
comparison?
the Earth is a baseball,
The Earth, the moon.
yeah, because in pictures. It's always a lot smaller. Evidently, that's intentional.
I remember a lot of us can see that motherfucker from everywhere when it's there.
I know,
right?
but I thought it was closer, baby. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't know it was
You
quarter
probably-
size of
So
the
the real
Earth.
question is, right, are they going to go to the dark side of the moon, which is the thing, because we spin, the moon doesn't, so we always only see one side of it.
Are they going to listen to Dark Side of the Moon while they go there?
I would assume
You know
so.
what's on the
Maybe
dark side of
watch,
the moon?
Dark Side of the Moon, but
Transformers.
All
There's
right,
some
I got a couple more, and then I'm done.
Transformers
I'm done. Chat GPT was banned in Italy because of data collection, so that's very intriguing, right? I
ChatGPT
was
is the
wondering
AI
about this too.
chat?
Yeah, it's the AI.
So I guess they violated their data collection rules or laws, so it's banned in Italy. So then the question becomes, what are they collecting, right? So it makes sense. You think it's
What are you
using its
collecting
interactions
What are
with
you
these
collecting
people.
from Italy? French fries and crepes? What the fuck is the?
And they just rolled out a mobile
Wait,
app.
French fries come from Italy?
Oh, France.
That doesn't add up.
I was gonna say, dude, I was like, no, that was it. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm not trying to call you out. I was like, I was genuinely, I was like, wait a second, French fries come from Italy? What in the fuck?
All right.
French fries don't even come from France.
That is correct. Yet another train has derailed. This one was carrying ethanol and corn syrup. It's terrifying. That is a lot of hazmat spills lately, especially via train derailments.
Where was this at?
This one was in Minnesota. Seems very targeted to Midwest.
Minnesota,
East.
yeah.
So
what do you mean targeted? You mean it's intentional?
It's just very odd. I've not. When was the last time before? What was the big one? What was the city?
I don't know.
East Palestine. East Palestine had the one where they blew it up because they thought that would be a good idea, and then it created a 3-mile cloud of death.
Yeah. Wait, they blew it up on purpose?
Yes, they thought it would be the smart thing to do.
I think it's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, they really
blow up these dangerous chemicals.
Exactly.
So I have a friend that's a high level executive at a major railroad company, and so I'd be asking him all these questions about what's going on, and it's just a matter. I mean, it's corporate greed. It's taking. I mean, these railroad companies have astronomical profits. Yeah. And they are not keeping up the tracks. I did ask about that question, like how many times have you heard this before? There have been a lot of incidents before, not as many as right now, but a lot of it is due to failure to maintain because of the cost of maintaining.
Yeah, and the East Palestine one is considered to be the largest economical disaster in U.S. history. So
wait, it's in Palestine. It's not in U.S.
East Palestine. It's in Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh,
East Palestine,
Ohio.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking, why? What are we talking about?
I'm like, wait, did we take over Palestine now? No. We got Palestinians.
I'm like, dude, I'm way out of the loop.
It's Hawaii.
Palestine is now a territory.
Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and Palestine.
All right, and the last one, Bud Light.
We don't know what the fuck is happening.
This motherfucker keeps
the
interrupting.
white people know everything.
Stop interrupting me. I'm just trying to get through my segment.
My bad, white person.
See, why you gotta go there?
I'm the comedic relief. Why am I Charlemagne the God of this?
What if he would have said, all right, black person, how would you feel?
I would have left. I'm uncomfortable like that.
Now he would have been like, all right,
I'm done.
Right.
We'd have been a different thing.
Last one, Bud Light put Dylan Mulvaney, who is a trans male.
Trans female,
sorry. As canceled on their cans as like a hero can or, and I don't mean to do quotes. I'm just, that's what it was. It's a hero can. I would do it regardless. But a lot of people are obviously upset because apparently you can't do that if it's not, military or first responders. And they've never done that before ever, right? Ever in the history of Bud Light have they ever put a first responder or military on their cans? Ever.
Not anybody other than a first responder. I'm being sarcastic.
They have 100%.
Oh,
they do it every year.
Every
year they put out some kind of military can. It's not like this is the first time they've ever put somebody on the can.
What did the individual do?
Dylan.
They transitioned. I don't know anything outside of that.
Time out. You know they're a hero just because they trans. Like
that's all I know.
I'll give you an example. And I'm like when Caitlyn Jenner did it. You're the public eye. So when they or she did it was we all watched it happen. So I get where there's some bravery in that. I remember the same level of upset over that.
But we had this discussion before, and courage and like being a hero and stress, everything that you experience in life is relative. Yeah. So for Dylan, they are a hero. For people, that's a hero to some people. It's just our definition of hero sucks.
Yeah. Just some background. Dylan kind of got popular on TikTok.
Okay.
She started her journey day one on TikTok. Okay. I think virtually.
So she lived it with people. She shared the experience.
Has a massive. I want to try to check on it, but I can't get service.
How massive?
I want to say like 10 million people.
Oh, that's why. That's why they
which
did.
Is and she has kind of gone through day after day of being a girl and talking about like the struggles and stuff. She's also a very just a very positive, happy-go-lucky type of person. She's been to the White House. She's definitely had like a big impact.
Yeah, so that's what I was looking for. I wasn't trying to say what's so special about transitioning. I was just like, there has to be more as to why this big company attached itself to this person. Because the everyday person that we know that's transgender. They're not. Right. Otherwise, we ain't calling them. So there has to be something bigger. So for that, I've never heard of them, but that makes sense.
I think it's just the the openness that she's gone through her transition, and people getting to kind of see that experience. Of course, there's been a lot of it's the
vulnerability of it, because you're gonna get column A and column B. You're gonna get people that are going to appreciate what you're doing. You're going to people that are going to absolutely destroy you for what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm literally just coming to this podcast for recent news because I don't know what the fuck you motherfuckers are talking about. I'm like, excuse me.
I don't know either.
Like, I saw the Trump thing. Like that one I knew, but all of this Bud Light in the moon. What? Like, where the fuck have I been at, dude? Like,
that's why. And if you're asking yourself the same question that Jada Letter is asking,
that's why I'm doing.
That's why you're watching We Ain't Famous, because Man Sock's gonna give you the news,
and he's gonna give it to you real good.
Yeah, I have to up my game. My goal every week is to know every damn story you talk about, and today I'm like batting 50-50. So
you'll be there. I'm sure.
We're gonna call it Redhead News today on Redhead News.
The fuck you mean redhead news?
His hair's not red.
Redhead news, dog.
That's cool. You should appreciate your differences.
All right, moving on to Am I the Asshole?
Your beard is
just my beard.
Red beard.
All right, we're going to move on to y'all are fine. We're going to move it on to the Am I the Asshole?
Okay.
What, did he get through all his news?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Well, one thing I want to shout out here.
Segment.
Real quick.
Wait, let me do stupid news first.
Okay, real quick, though. One thing I want to shout out here, okay? Tell me why Mad Sox doesn't have a fucking phone case on his phone. Like, how brave do you have to be?
That's a challenge to myself. And so far, I'm doing great.
You're a heathen.
Guess what? You just fucked me. Because now you brought attention to it. And guess what? Now something's going to happen.
Who doesn't put a case on their phone? That's what I want to know.
It's on you. I was batting I was pitching a perfect game. I was going. And you
I'm going to rub it on my Buddha belly, and I'm going to bless it for you.
Unbelievable.
All right, DZ, go ahead and hit us with the stupid news then before. Look, I cleaned it.
All right, just so you know.
Look at it, dude. It's pretty
Dude, iPhones without the case, they're fucking sexy.
That's exactly
They are fucking sexy.
You would think they would build in the case, but no.
No, we can't make money with that.
good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you don't know what this segment is, we're going to talk about stupid news. What we want you to do in the comments when we're talking about stupid news is guess what state this stupid news is from. All right? I'm going to make sure I omit the detail of where the stupid news is from.
It's very hard when I did that segment first. For about 10 seconds sat there looking at it. Don't fucking say it. Don't say Fort Myers. Don't say Fort Myers.
And I'm just gonna, I'll use my own words instead of reading them. So, in a state that I won't say, two people initially, they became criminals. Two initial people were at a Chipotle restaurant, and when they requested extra cheese and it was not given to them, One individual snatched the hat off of one of the workers. There became an altercation. One individual pulled out a gun.
Oh my God.
And the other individual was cited as saying, shoot them. And this individual pulled the trigger, but it misfired. They actually didn't get shot. But they ended up ransacking the entire restaurant afterwards.
They stole all the cheese. Every last bag.
Have you had that queso blanco?
I'm immediately thinking Midwest. This has to be somebody in the Midwest. Guns and
to me, this is also a
guns and cheese. Yeah.
This is also kind of like an "Am I the asshole?" Who's wrong? I mean, they're wrong, but
bro,
motherfucker, give them the cheese.
Yeah, like you ever been shorted on cheese?
Like at the point where they.
Maybe they gave them extra cheese. When you work at a restaurant, you can't just go ham.
Hey, if I got that thing on me, I'm fucking liable.
Well, they probably didn't see the gun before they decided how much cheese they were going to give.
Cheese. They are.
I got the glizzy on me.
The hammer, bro. I'm putting it down.
They are carrying. Give them all the cheese they want.
Say when.
We're lucky they're not asking for the cheddar.
Yeah, I wanted like fucking Olive Garden in here with that fucking cheese.
Matter of fact, I'm not gonna lie.
Tell me when.
There's a couple times I consider assaulting a McDonald's worker because they be acting like the manager is over there with a pistol, refusing to don't you give them no motherfucking ketchup. Like I asked, they give you your food and they try to close the goddamn window as fast as possible. Like this is a
knock on it. Hello.
And then you wait there and they look at you like, what do you want? You know what the fuck I want. I want some ketchup.
You know what I'm here for.
And then you have 5 fucking fries and these motherfuckers will give you 3 ketchups. This ratio is fucked up. Or do you get beaten after work if you give out too much ketchup in a day?
Did you call that racist? Did you say
I didn't say nothing about racist. How dare you?
Oh, I thought you said that's racial.
This was to everybody.
I was like, come on.
No, I didn't. No, is it a race or what?
Oh, okay.
Don't be trying to insinuate that black people make everything racial. Even though later on I'm about to make something racial.
All right, so we're going to get them steak.
I do have a tendency.
All right, so we already have one. We got a Texas.
Hey, keep in mind what you say here can be very insulting to the people of the state. So just keep that in mind when you say
What else? What else we got?
We got Texas.
I'm going to say South Carolina.
I'm going to say Arkansas.
Shit, I'm going to go motherfucking Oklahoma.
Okay, all right.
Did anybody get it?
Nobody's gotten it.
South Carolina.
Nobody's got it. I'll give you a hint.
said that.
I'll give you a hint.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
We all worked at a common place, and a lot of people where we worked at are from this place.
Ohio.
Ohio is trying to bust caps over cheese, dog. So when you're in Ohio,
better give them that cheese.
You better give it up. If you say you want cheese with that, you better don't even ask them. Just give it up.
All right.
Yeah, we got Leo in the comments saying that's how Jack in the Box is with the ranch. Motherfucker, it's 2 o'clock and I'm hungry. Give me some ranch.
People are crazy with ranch. When I worked at a pizza restaurant, we sold probably 10 times the amount of ranch that we did pizza.
What pizza restaurant?
Shit. Peter Piper?
Peter Piper, Valencia and 12th. Whoop, whoop.
My sister believes that she's the one who started the ranch on pizza.
Did you work there?
No, I just don't think they hire anybody over 18.
No. Hell no, they don't.
All children working there.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of children, I technically worked for Peter Piper's when I was below the age to work. But it was technical. I got paid in tokens to play Street Fighter. I put the chairs on top of the tables, and then they gave me a shitload of tokens to bust people's ass.
That sounds illegal.
It was my sister.
Oh, okay. My bad. Are you joking?
She trying to get my sister arrested in this motherfucker.
Right.
Just kidding.
Alrighty, guys. So I got a. Am I the asshole here? I thought I didn't have a good one, but I actually saved a really good one.
Oh, I found a juicy Lucy.
This one's a good one. All right.
Let's go.
And I'm gonna read it plain as fuck.
All right.
So Rendell doesn't. So Rendell don't say that I'm trying to influence.
Yeah, don't try to influence the decisions.
Be Siri.
Okay.
Be Alexa.
Am I the asshole? Oh, no. For telling my sister she's fat.
That's it?
No, hold up. Am I the asshole for telling my sister that she's fat? That right there automatically is like, I don't know. I'm leaning towards the asshole. But you got to listen to this one, okay?
Keep going.
You got to listen to this one. I grew up in a very abusive household. I graduated high school at 17 years old so I could move out the day I grabbed my diploma. I couch surfed for a couple months until I turned 18 and got my first apartment at 18 years old with my boyfriend. We worked minimum wage jobs, working 60 hours plus a week, so my boyfriend and I could afford rent. When we moved in, we only had a bed, a small 30-inch TV, and my boyfriend's Xbox, toiletries, nothing else.
Gotta have an Xbox.
Yeah.
If you ain't got shit,
the
you
important
gotta have an Xbox.
Super clutch.
No toilet paper.
For what?
No, you have a bidet, you don't need toilet paper, all right?
Hey.
So over the next 2 years, we began saving up money to get our first car. After getting a car, we applied to a job that paid more for fewer hours. We get raises every few months and profit sharing every quarter. We slowly began to update our apartment. Now the only thing we're missing was a couch. The couch was donated to us by our apartment. Someone got evicted from the unit and left everything in there. The office, knowing we didn't have a couch, gave us the couch. Hey, after all the upgrades, we decided to start hosting D&D at our house. Just me, my boyfriend, the DM, my brother-in-law, and my sister, who weighs a whopping 375 pounds.
God damn.
My sister couldn't fit in any of our chairs, so she sat on our couch. We originally didn't have a problem with this unit, we didn't originally have a problem with this until we noticed our couch began to divot in the middle, and the bar that held the futon together underneath started to bend. My boyfriend and I agreed we'd buy her a chair that's built for her. The chair just came in, and we had D&D on Friday.
That's love right there.
Right? Okay. We showed the chair to my sister, hoping she would be grateful. We paid over $100 for this. We're not rich, so we had to dip into our savings to pay for this. My sister got mad at us, accusing us of calling her fat. Tried to calm her down, but trying to calm her down just made her scream more. My brother-in-law was telling us to look at what we started. I have to go home to this. You got this couch for free, just buy another one. My sister is screaming in one ear, my brother-in-law talking in the other. I lost it. I said, summarizing, everyone shut the fuck up. You are completely right. Your fat ass is breaking our couch. You can lose weight easily, but choose to stay.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, no, you choose to say.
See, you had me.
You were pulling
and
me.
then you got to this.
Hold on, listen.
Now you really got
You
me.
choose to stay a
Hook,
fat
line,
slob.
sinker.
This is your problem. You can literally run from, but you choose not to run and to be fat and collect taxpayers' money to stay at home. And eat more and gain more weight. Until you lose weight under 250 pounds, you're not allowed on our couch again. I admit it. It was much, and I should have better control of my feelings. I feel bad for saying what I said on Friday, but it felt good to finally say it. Last night, my brother-in-law was texting me saying my bullying caused my sister to have a mental breakdown, and I should apologize. I told him I'd apologize when she apologizes for bending my couch. Am I the asshole for calling my sister fat by buying her a chair that supports
I don't think that's really. I don't think that's really good representation of that. Like, I don't think that's really what happened.
This one's all over the place because I have my opinion on it. I'll let you guys weigh in.
We're gonna give it to Mother Teresa first.
All right.
Oh my God! Yes.
All right. So just two things that come from it. Number one. I feel bad enough for her. That's an embarrassing situation. And, for a lot of people, I think you kind of wrap up your self-worth in your body image. And that can be really difficult to deal with. So, I feel for her. Having somebody buy a special chair for you and then make a big deal out of it. Just shut up and buy the chair and then can we not talk about it? I understand that would be an embarrassing situation. She needs to have a reality check, though, because, you're in somebody's house damaging their furniture. That's a problem. He is way out of line for the rampage that he went on there.
Why are you making a man?
Sorry. I just assumed it was a guy. My bad.
Misgender her.
Yeah. Sorry. They are way out of line. She was way out of line for going on that rampage. She should have just stuck to her guns and, I think she was right initially, but she went way too far.
What I would say is this. This is the part I would have to be keyed on, because it sounds like after I don't know that she said that they were like, here, this chair, you have to sit in it. But it should have been rather obvious, right? But then
that is what she said, though.
Did she say this is your chair? You have to sit in it initially.
Let me
because it sounded like to me they got the chair and she saw the chair and is pissed because she knows what the chair's about. All right,
so here we go. Ready? The chair just came in and we had D&D on Friday. We showed the chair to my sister, hoping she would be grateful. We paid over hundreds of dollars for this. We're not rich, so we had to dip into our savings.
It's about, and here's the thing. I guess
we showed her the chair and we hoped she would be excited. They weren't just like, look at this beautiful chair. They definitely said, we got this fat chair for your fat ass.
Here's what you should do. You shouldn't have been like, this is for you. You should have just put some snacks in the chair. You should have got that. Right?
Damn.
Look, we got you some little, pockets for the side.
I'm trying to get ratings on this. Right? Huh?
What's actually funny is because at my family's house, my parents' house, right? My brother used to have a friend, and we actually did this for one of his friends.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
So one of his friends would come over. He was 400 plus pounds. I'm not going to say it, but he would come over and he would literally kind of mess up our chairs. Yeah. So we went out and we got a chair for him, and we called it his chair. He's like, hey, that's his chair. So anytime he came over to visit, that's where he sat. But you got to also be conscious of how much you weigh, and because you are impacting other people's things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I think it's just the way,
it's not a big deal or anything.
When you're spending hundreds of dollars on a chair, maybe it is.
Jesus Christ.
Here's the thing.
Especially since they were broke, they talk about that at the beginning.
But
she's wrong for the delivery, but it sounds like she got pissed and then just went in.
But here's the thing is,
hold on, you had your time, ma'am.
Renee, we'll try to get you a chair. You can come in.
You were butting in on my time, Mother Teresa.
My bad.
Yeah, thanks. All right.
Renee chimed in and said
Morgan Teresa.
Morgan Teresa.
Morgan Teresa.
Renee chimed in and says, I'm fat, I want my own chair.
Here's where I was going to go. Look, I was going to say this.
Terorgan.
She went a little in too hard, and if she was like, here, this is your chair, in front of everybody. And I guess it's about the relationships around you too. But I've been in this situation. I used to have I had a car, really nice
when
car,
were you
right?
ever fat?
No, I wasn't the fat person. Just literally follow me, right? I was fat as a baby. Anyway. But I have 2 cousins. They're big dudes, right? I had this car. My car's shocks were so-so. What we started realizing is if both of them sat on the same side of my damn car, we would fucking scrape the ground with my car, right? So I had to say, hey, bro, one of y'all need to sit on the back side, on the opposite side, and the other one sits in the passenger seat. That way we got to distribute weight. They didn't trip.
Yeah, but how did you just say that? You said it respectful and kind. You didn't say all that bullshit.
Here's the other thing where it's different. And I hate to say this. It's different between how dudes react and how females react. Big dudes will be, unless they're like real big dudes will just accept being big. And they be like, girls love me. They love big boys. Hug on me, girl. They love it. They don't care. But for women, it's way more of a sensitive subject that I wouldn't just be like, sit your fat ass on this chair. Like, there's no way. That's crazy. Right? That's nuts. That's disrespectful. Because she is an asshole for calling her sister fat. But her sister is delusional as a motherfucker.
It was a tirade. She didn't call her fat. That was a fucking tirade that she went on.
But no, she brought
up all the shit. She said, when you were 4, you stole my cheeses.
Did she say that?
Fat motherfucker. No.
Oh, I'm like, did I black that out? Did it get so bad that I was like, I can't take any more insulting.
But no, like one of the comments, one of the viewers, Raina, says, makes you wonder, though, how many issues have come up in the past regarding sisters' weight.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, it had to.
Yeah, no, she's not an asshole. She's not an asshole at all. First of all, she did something nice, right? She got her the fucking chair.
Oh, she's great for that.
And it was, what was it done out of? Love.
She's a hero. She's a hero for getting her that chair.
Or was it worry about her furniture?
Put her on a beer can.
Her free furniture? How worried was she honestly about the furniture and not? I mean, granted,
it's like, hey, let's not.
Right, so let's not fuck up our free furniture, but also too, like, what if she fucking breaks it while she's sitting on it, or what if something stupid happens like that? That's even more embarrassing. She thinks, right? Mm-hmm. So she gets her the chair, and then from there, I feel like it's done out of love. Like, she finally said all the shit that she's been thinking. Like, dude, you're fucking killing yourself, right? She's obviously unhealthily obese. So
there's a way to say that, though. There's a difference.
Right, there is.
She raged out on her.
That was a roast. She roasted.
Yeah,
and especially when you're talking about a sensitive subject like that, right? We talk about people who maybe have an addiction, and food addiction is a thing. That is not the way to go about it, by tearing somebody down like that. I'm sure the big sister, is already embarrassed, and I think she was wrong. But man, I just feel like that way of addressing it is going to make her
intentions are right. Her actions are wrong.
Yeah, it's going to reinforce everything that she already thinks about herself and that she thinks everybody else thinks about her. And I just think, like, if you really love her, you need to pull.
But you really love her and you want her to change. You feel like you have tried everything and you want her to change. So telling her how you feel, and in reality, like I said, it sounds like she's obese. Like, that's not healthy. You're just looking out for them. That's like if your person gets to a point where it's like, dude, you're killing yourself. Like, and we don't know, like Raina said, I think we don't know what's gone into it. Mm-hmm. I think there's other variables that we can't just jump to say that they're an asshole for doing one thing out of love.
We can only judge them based on their statement alone.
But she was very judgmental. She said you could easily lose the weight, and you choose not to.
Now, here's the thing.
That is not understanding. It's not compassion. It's judgment. It's looking at her life from your lens and assuming that you could handle it better than her.
I mean, at some point, though.
But here's the thing. Like, if you look at how you're looking at it, if we think about what else could have been there, maybe because she said her sister was like freaking out, so maybe she was like, "You little skinny dumb bitch." Because now, okay, you didn't open up the gate. It's on, motherfucker. That could be different. But we have to go off of what she gave us. She's the asshole. She had great intentions at one point. If she just said, if it wasn't, I called my sister fat, am I wrong for buying my sister a chair because she was breaking my couch?
And even asking her to sit in that, I think is okay.
Yeah.
Hey, our I'm sorry, but our furniture is just not made for that. But we went out of our way to buy this for you so you're comfortable, whatever. That was incredibly kind. And if you wanted to talk to her about her weight, I think that's fair as well. I don't think it has to be something that's tiptoed around, and you don't have to pretend like it's not happening. But in a rage, like in a rage attack like that, because you're pissed about a situation, I just don't think that was an okay way to handle it for yourself.
So we got Asshole?
Yes, you're an asshole.
What are you? What are you running? Asshole? You're running with not the asshole?
Not the
Where you go? Go.
Jay,
I'm in the middle. For me, it's everyone sucks here. That's it. And then here's the reason why. So the sister that bought the chair, cool. She had the best intentions to do it.
Yep.
But for me personally, like when it comes to my siblings or my brothers, I'm not going to call them out in front of their partner. You know, I'm not going to call them out in front of my partner. I'm going to talk to them in private. Yeah. And I'm going to say, hey, look, you're bending my foot.
Hey, look, fatty.
hey, chub. Even though when it comes to my brothers, I'm the biggest, but but you know what I mean.
Are you the biggest now?
No, actually, the intern might be the biggest.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, got that baby weight.
That's my big little brother right there. But for me, it's everyone sucks here, and the reason why is because she should have talked to her sister in private. Said, "Look, I'm going to buy you a chair." She had the best intentions. Like to me, that's heartwarming. Like you know, your sister is having issues. She doesn't fit in chairs. You're going to come out of your pocket to buy her a chair. Savings. Yeah, out of your savings to buy her a chair to make her feel comfortable when you guys are playing together. That should have been done in private, right? The other sister, the bigger sister, the big sister, all right?
See, hold on a second.
Hold on.
How is the person saying that the chick who went off and called the other chick fat? Never mind. I'm not even going to
No, say it.
No, it's just,
go ahead.
It's just funny because y'all have been making a bunch of jokes about the fat chick. I ain't said one thing about the fat chick. Every single one of y'all has joked about the fat chick.
I'm laughing, dude.
The only person who said that calling her fat wasn't rude is the only person who hasn't called her fat. Y'all motherfuckers.
I think calling her fat is not an accurate representation of what was said to her.
Yeah, look,
by somebody that she loves.
Everyone sucks here.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Everyone sucks here. But the sister the big sister. I'm sorry, bro. The big sister.
Come
okay?
on, man.
Oh, my bad.
Y'all gotta do better.
My bad, dude.
I'm just trying to
find God. Okay,
podcast.
Find God.
We have to make this entertaining.
But check it out.
I could be super. Well, she was wrong.
You know what?
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, so. Everyone sucks here, okay? Mm-hmm. The sister that went off, the big sister, like, I get it. Like, growing up, whenever you're made fun of, like, me, I mean, I grew up being made fun of, right? I've always been a big boy, always, right? That shit does get embarrassing. But to pop off, like, I don't know.
Let me ask you a question.
But the other sister bought her the chair. Like, yeah, me personally, I'd be grateful for it. And like you said, and no offense, dudes, if my brother's like, bro, you're fucking my couch up. Don't sit in that chair. I'd be like, all right, bro. My bad, dog. Do you want me to pay if I broke it? Like, I'll pay for it. But
we take it very
I'm gonna bring my own little chair.
Society has made women even way more conscious of weight than a man is conscious of their weight. You'll hear like men, oh, he's a fat slob, and stupid stuff like that. But I don't think men just work different in that way. But while we're talking about this and fat people's feelings, why do you motherfuckers think that skinny people don't got feelings? Motherfuckers be like, oh, look at that gait. I bet you could fit through those bars right there.
Honestly.
You do not get told that.
I damn sure that fuck have.
Or, you're
little. You climb up on this desk and climb through the fucking roof.
But no, check it out. This is what it boils down to. Like, okay, I get it. Skinny people have feelings. I get that. But when you grew up in a society where the image, right, the ideal image isn't what you are, right?
No, it's both.
Yeah, but
I'm not the ideal image either, motherfucker. I am skinny. All I ever hear about is, I bet I could pick you up. Fuck.
Bro. Nobody tells you that.
I can tell you a particular female who tries to pick me up on a regular.
Who? I want to know who.
I know who it is.
I know. She has the same last name as you.
I know. I was like, I know exactly who it is. Look, but you know why I know who it is? Because she tried to be picking me up too.
That's because she's strong.
Look, that's 100% a valid point. I wish people would stop commenting on other people's bodies unless it's on a one-on-one, I care about you, I'm worried about you. And that could be either way, right? Like you're anorexic potentially or have some other eating disorder or you're overweight. But like I see all the time, especially with women that are like very buff and they work out a lot, comments full of people, men, women, saying, gross, I don't like that, it doesn't look good, you're not feminine. Well, and I'm just like, you know what she's not thinking when she's busting her ass 6 days a week at the gym? She ain't thinking about what Chad from Facebook fucking thinks about her body.
But here's the problem.
When she's training hard and eating clean, she ain't thinking about you, buddy.
As soon as you put yourself on Facebook, you open yourself up to that.
Trend hard, baby. Trend hard.
You just have to know to not pay attention to that. But no matter what. Social media is a different animal.
You could be putting yourself out there to, to talk about your fitness or bodybuilding. Yeah. I'm not asking for, 1,000 strangers to tear down what I look like. That's not what,
But you're going to get Dildo Baggins, and he's going to get in your comments and talk fucking crazy. It's going to happen.
While she's eating her Trend Bologna sandwich, she ain't thinking of you.
Trend
Bologna?
Yeah. Eat clean, trend hard. That's it.
That's right.
I'm going. Like I said,
coddling, man.
Everyone sucks here.
You can't go, but The question isn't,
am my sister an asshole? That's a choice.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Because she asked if she's the asshole. You have to go one way or the other.
Which one was wronger?
Which one was wronger?
Fuck. Which one was the other one? The first apology.
I know you're Mexican, but you got to climb off the fucking fence, bro, or the wall or whatever.
My guy, bring it in.
Fucking Renell.
I got
dude,
this
fucking light right here.
Edgy, damn it.
Dude, this light right here is really fucking nice. Yeah. I love this light right here.
My head was glowing.
Everyone sucks here. But if I'm being forced and peer pressured into making a decision...
Only one person asked. You have to answer based on who asked. She's asking.
Hold on.
She is.
Hold on.
Oh. What are you doing?
I had to see what my prostate... I had to see what my prostate said.
That is not what that looked like.
Yeah.
Anyways, if I got to pick one, I'm going to run with... She isn't an asshole. Yeah, I mean, I'll run with... she's not an asshole.
Oh, we
did a tiebreaker.
And here's the
thing.
Here's
in the comments, who is the...
Which one?
Is the asshole or isn't the asshole?
Yeah.
Is the person who wrote this the asshole or are they not the asshole? Is or isn't? Please put in the comments.
Yep,
how many people we got in the comments? All 5 of you.
We got Raina, Renee.
We used to have 6 and then we had one of them join the podcast and now we got 5.
Right. Damn it, we lost a viewer, dude. Oh yeah, there's 5, but I'm in the live right now, so there's actually 4.
Come on.
But what I've also figured out is that our comments split into different lives too, so it's not just the one live. Well, we got the comments up here.
Is the asshole?
We got stamina. We go long.
Renee said what she did blowing up the way she did doesn't benefit either of them.
At the bottom, he said she's the asshole.
She's the asshole. We got
Raina. She's the asshole.
We got Raina just said yes, Raina. Christine, girl support.
Yeah, I think she said that about the stop.
Is the asshole?
Dude, I love Raina. What do you care? She's my favorite person.
She's the asshole. So me and Christine win.
She's my favorite person.
If you see somebody struggling, say something. I mean, that's where it comes down.
But not. You don't have to tear them down, though.
But you at the end of the day, you need to say something.
You do. You need to say something. 100%. You do not need to tear them down.
How you go about it.
No.
Yes.
No, she's not going to be receptive to that.
So she's not. She's going to get so much shit in her fucking life that she's not going to be fucking receptive to. So much. Why am I coddling her? Why am I?
But why can't you do it with
tact?
You do it. You don't know.
But if you're not a person who has tact, and there's people who genuinely do not have it.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
I know one.
Yeah. I know one too.
I'm tactful. When I need to be. Right now.
I know
that'll be on the pod after pod.
We're making good TV right now.
Then it becomes a matter of okay, well, that's just how I am as a person, right? Why do we not accommodate that aspect of things? Why do I have to coddle?
If somebody came to me and said it like that, I would absolutely be defensive and I would not be receptive. Yeah. As opposed to if somebody who genuinely loved me and cared about me came to me and said, I'm worried about you.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. How can I help? What are you struggling with? That I would be, it might hurt.
But they
it might hurt
out,
my feelings.
Right? They're a person who loves you and they don't know how to show their emotions correctly, obviously, right?
Sure, but this person doesn't seem apologetic. They're kind of looking for confirmation.
I think in her mind, she feels like she was pushed there. Like I did all these things for you. You weren't appreciative.
Yeah.
And then you got mad, which led to me doing this. But the reality is, it's one of those things like, when people will drink and say shit, they're like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. But you wanted to say that.
Right.
So you got mad and you said what you wanted to say, but you should have, as an adult, found a way to be able to have that conversation with that person. Like if you really are worried about them and want to help them, then you have to do it in a manner where they're going to be receptive. But the other thing you have to realize is you're not going to make that change for them. Only they can make a change for themselves. They have to want it.
A lot of people have this perception that fat people don't know that they're fat until you tell them, which is bullshit. We know. We feel it.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What are you talking about? This isn't...
All right, y'all. Let's move on to the next one.
Right. Went away, I knew I was...
Yeah, let's move on to the next one, Morgan. I know you got the last topic.
All right. So our final topic is going to be the...
No, you're good.
Okay. The final topic is going to be the LSU Tigers beat the Iowa Hawkeyes 102-85.
Put some respect on their name.
It was their first national basketball title in school history. The big story that's come out of this is, and I'm going to explain what I've seen, but please feel free to jump in if you've maybe seen other stuff. So from what I understand, Caitlin Clark, who is a phenomenal player, a lot of people have said that she is kind of the best player of the season. And
every award you can win this season, she's won. Every damn award. Unanimous, Naismith MVP, everything.
So during the season, she has repeatedly done gestures, kind of mocking gestures. I understand it's this...
You can't see me,
you can't see me, right? And I saw a few clips of her doing it, and it's like a two hand motion thing. She's been doing it kind of throughout. She also does this thing with her... I don't know what that means.
I
don't care. Like she's guarding somebody... I think, different people, whatever, but she kind of does this like, I don't care. Don't worry about this person. They're not going to get through, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's kind of these short spurts, right? And after the win, a player from the winning team named Angel Reese kind of followed Clark around the court for like a good 10 to 15 seconds. And she was like, repeatedly doing that motion, and then she points to her ring finger, implying because she won. And there's a lot of backlash about what Reese did because it was called aggressive and it was. It was not classy. It was poor sportsmanship. I will say before we get into our opinions. Since this, I've seen several interviews with both girls. Caitlin Clark does not give a fuck about it. She says that Angel Reese is a phenomenal player, does not care about the motion. Angel Reese has spoken out and said that, she's received undue criticism that Caitlin Clark never got. And she, her view on that is it's because of the color of her skin, because she's a black player. And she also, outside of being black, she, talks in a certain way. And she described herself as hood and ghetto. And so she's being perceived in a specific way. So you kind of have these two girls. Caitlin Clark is not offended by it at all. But you also have Reese, who's kind of calling out the hypocrisy that she perceives in that situation. Let's start with Jay.
So what's the question?
So, do you feel that Reese should be called out for her action?
Absolutely not.
¿Por qué?
Because here's what this is what it boils down to, at least for me. Mm-hmm. If you're going to play competitive sports, there is going to be taunting. The only time that there should not be taunting is if you're like high school and under. Like, you're way too young to be fucking taunting people.
I'm with it in high school.
You know what I mean? High school, that's what I'm saying. High school I'm good with. High school and above, there's going to be taunting. There's really athletic people out there. There's some fucking ballers out there. And, if you're good at it, absolutely taunt it. But if you can't take it coming back, which from what it sounds like, Caitlin doesn't give a fuck. And you know why she doesn't give a fuck? It's because she's a competitive motherfucker. That's just what it is. She's competitive she's competitive as fuck. She doesn't give a fuck about it. That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't care if Reese I don't want to say the word. I don't care if Reese went over the top with it. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. That's just what it is. You look at some of the greats, right? Think about some of the greatest football players, right? Some of the greatest basketball players. They're going to taunt, right? The GOAT, MJ, he was... I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding, DZ. I'm just kidding, man. But the point that I'm trying to make, the point that I'm trying to make is the taunting's going to be there. Now, if the taunting becomes physical, that's where the line is drawn. But this isn't physical. This is, it's part of the game. And if you're going to be part of a competitive game, you got to be ready for those things. And that's what it is. The main problem here is the outcry from the media. That's what the problem is.
Do you believe that the outcry from the media is racially driven?
It is absolutely racially driven. I had seen this thing, right? So when they talk about Caitlin Clark, she's competitive, she's passionate, this, that, or whatever, right? By doing what she's doing, she's considered passionate, right? But you have a young black lady doing the same thing, and okay, I'll level. Maybe she went a little bit more. She went over the top. I'm not going to call it excessive.
Okay.
I won't call it excessive.
Okay,
but
so she went over the top.
I'm trying to level here, just because. I mean, even for me, I don't think it was over the top, but I know what other people are going to say, so that's fine. I'll level and I'll just.
You don't think it's over the top?
Absolutely not.
Just a quick question. I'm not even going to give my opinion, but just a quick question.
I think it was. I think she should have. I think it was necessary.
Let's say that I walk past your office on the way to my office in the morning, and I go fuck you, right, and then I walk off, and then let's say the next day I walk to your office. And for 15 straight seconds, I just stand there saying, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, for 15 seconds straight.
But fuck you.
But yeah,
look at me.
You
look at me.
Flipping them off.
Morgan, you got to remember something, though, real quick.
What?
You have to remember one thing.
What?
You got to remember who you're talking. I'm going to find that shit hilarious. I'm going to be laughing my ass off because I think it's fucking funny.
No, but hold on. You position that a certain way that is off. Let's say you walk by my office and you're like, fuck you!
No,
and you walk. No, because
it's wrong though. She didn't do anything to LSU. She didn't do a single gesture to them. So it's not equal. It's like me doing it to you.
You've been doing this shit around, and you've been getting NIL deals, and you've been getting attention because you do this.
Real quick.
Oh, you know what?
There's a super valid comment right there.
What?
Nobody bats an eye when men.
Oh, and we'll get there too.
All right, so let's have Bryce address. Let's have. Hold on. Let's have Mansoft address this comment and then give his feedback too. Raina says also nobody bats an eye when men do it either. Men barely even get shit for being physical and making bullshit plays. Also, if they weren't up in arms about Clark doing it, why would they be up in arms about Reese?
Because it's not the same thing. We're talking about two completely different actions.
Okay, so
yes, we are.
Explain.
We are talking about two completely different actions. It's the analogy that you gave. It's walking to your bench, right? Walking to your team, telling them they can't see me. Literally, that long.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
To your team.
Quick.
Even if the chick is walking by and like I had sent it to y'all within an hour, hey, my opinion might change here. It doesn't. Even that, she's walking by, she's in your field of view. Yeah, you're gonna look at her, right? Following her around for 15 seconds, and I counted it, is excessive. And that's the thing. I love it. And this doesn't put me on the side of Angel Reese is wrong. I love it. She should have done it. She should keep fucking doing it. But the non-acknowledgement that it's excessive, it's an escalation. So therefore, you can't just chalk it up to race because of criticism for one versus the other. We're not talking about the same actions. There's not a same common denominator. We're not doing the same fucking math.
Do you think that, just hypothetically, if the roles were reversed and Reese was the one who was periodically making gestures to different people, different teams, different games, and Caitlin was the one who did the stalking, and do you think the feedback or the blowback would have been different, potentially, based on their skin color? Do you think it would have been the same feedback?
I think it would have been the same thing. It still would have been excessive. You can remove every aspect of it besides what happened. You're up by 15. There's 10 seconds left in the game, and you spend 15 of it stalking this person around.
You've been doing
all of that. You put up 15 points. She put up 31. She broke every record that you could break for scoring for the tournament.
But you were the underdog, and you won against the best player in college basketball.
The best player, not the best team. Though that's the thing, she has nobody around her.
Clearly, she had to be viewed as the best team because Iowa was picked by 3-point favorite to win this game.
But that doesn't make them the best team. That just makes them.
They were favored over this team, so they made them. They were considered to be better.
They beat North Carolina right before that, and they weren't favored in that game. That doesn't matter. It's an escalation. It's a different scenario we're talking about here.
Can I throw an opinion?
Yes.
Yep.
No, it's my turn. No, go ahead.
So one thing is first of all, I think Reese probably had it more premeditated than the other girl.
Yeah,
you
have
to sit there.
Well, I mean, the girl did it on a regular basis. How's that not premeditated?
No.
She knew she was going to do it all the time.
She did it once, twice.
That's her call thing. She does. Hey, look, that's. She's not sitting there delivering. Well, hold on, Rendell. Okay. She's not sitting there going out. I'm going to go in front of Rendell and go bam, make sure that he sees because he does it. So it was all totally like she knew if they came up on the upper hand that she was going to give it to her.
Yeah, because
and not only did she going to have him give it to her, she's going to make sure that she sees it. So there's a whole different concept on that.
The lack of acknowledgement that it's different.
The main problem here is the media.
Right, because it's not. We're not looking at it unbiasedly. We want it to be this racial issue. This
isn't about Carter. No, the media. Okay, let's look at these two teams. Iowa starts an all-5 white girl team. LSU starts an all-5 black girl team. You're going to tell me that the media doesn't want to position these 5 white girls as being unstoppable in a game that you know is usually dictated by minorities. The media grasped on them. They literally did a fucking segment on Clark about her doing her shit and how it pumps up her teammates and she's fiery. But then you don't think that you doing that is going to cause the attention of these other girls that play around you. Oh, you're getting attention for fucking taunting people. Oh, so when it's time and I get you, I'm going to taunt the shit out you. I'm going to make you feel it. It is what it is. If
it's
the point where yes, but it's a deserved escalation.
But that doesn't matter. It's escalation, so it's different actions. You cannot say they're the same.
Okay. One girl she did it versus Louisville. She did it versus South Carolina. They did a segment on her doing these things. It's her personality. If you give, and this is, anybody knows this. If you can dish it, you take it. And she took it. So this is even about her. Right. This is about the media having a problem with her taking it. You deserve what you got, and you're strong enough and a badass enough to take what you got. The media shouldn't be trying to. She's classless. She's a dumbass. The things that get said.
Exactly.
Well, who's saying that? There's 2 examples of it.
No, there's a few different examples of that.
Of actual major media outlets or personalities. Who? There's 2.
Well, it's not just that. I'm not just talking about that. If you look in the look in the comments on Twitter for after Clark did it. Oh, she's a savage. She's a beast.
Different actions.
No.
But you're saying they were referring specifically to the motion that she was making, and they called her a beast, they said that about the game that
it's
she
a
played.
clip of her doing and they're like, and
they said she was a beast for doing that,
she's
not
savage.
because of the points that she scored,
right.
but because of that motion. Look at her go.
Because she's a dog. And the thing is, it don't bother me. But the thing is, at the point where she does it, you know when it's the biggest moment. And it's part of this. It's not just racially driven. It's how big the moment is. We're talking about the national title game versus every other game. So that's why there's so many eyes on it, right? But to not be able to, most people, and this is what I noticed, I forgot his name, was one of the guy who called her a fucking idiot. When he realized that
Oberman,
he admitted that he hadn't been watching any girls basketball. Yeah. He hadn't seen anything up to this point. Didn't even really watch that game. He didn't know the history of it. And as soon as he figured out, there's history. No, it makes sense. Cool. There's a reason why this girl is making sure this girl sees it, because you're the one who was doing it. This isn't the same as you just doing the thing to a team. I'm annoyed because she said it. You're not going to. South Carolina is an SC team. Those girls play for the same conference I play from. We compete against each other. I'm not going to let you disrespect them. So I'm going to make sure you feel disrespected because I feel like you disrespected them. Is what it is.
It is 100% what it is, which is an escalation, and
but and I don't want to hear about okay. I'm trying to think of you see these examples a fucking ton, where if you look at them, you're like, what's the difference? What's the different factor here? It's usually going to be the media is going to look at race in different ways, and they'll misuse it in any way possible. But the reason why this was such a big deal is because you have this girl who's a darling, but the reason she's a darling is because she's a badass white chick, which don't happen a lot no more.
No,
I'm right here, Rendell.
A badass white chick. It's because she's a badass.
It's because she's a badass.
Christian McCaffrey, do you think anything gets said, that's a badass white boy running back? It is, because it's rare.
No,
it doesn't have bullshit.
Why? But why?
Bullshit. Because it's true. It's not a bad thing to be white. No, it's not a bad thing to mention that person's badass.
It's not something that people regularly are just going out of their way to.
So you don't think that you don't feel like,
or I'm
the fact that Christian McCaffrey is one of the few Caucasian players that plays a black dominated position in the same way that black people get appreciation for it's the first black quarterback to do that. When I see him, I'm like, That's a badass. I don't care about first. I just mean great. I'm like, bro, that's a badass. That's a badass running back. No, that's a badass white boy. It's not a bad basis. To me,
like a fucking category that I'm like establishing.
Well, because you see it different because you are that. You know what I mean? Like in the same.
But you do it. So you only do it with white people. So that would like be the equivalent of
that's a damn yeah. But there's a lot of them. If the primary 80% of the league is black,
it just seems so weird. Look at that badass black quarterback. Like it just look at that badass quarterback.
Are you familiar with who Dat Win is?
Who?
Dat Win. Dat Win played for Texas A&M back in the day. He's a badass Asian linebacker, little bitty dude. But it was dope about him is that I just never saw. Fuck, I ain't never seen an Asian dude busting people. You don't like maybe the kicker, but no, you a linebacker, and he was a beast. You appreciate that. To me, it's okay.
Right.
It's bad to look at people from a negative standpoint on race, but why is it a problem to look at somebody from a positive? And
no, it's not. But
she was like she's looked at as Larry Bird, and that's what they look at her at. Larry Bird was well known, even though it just barely came to light.
Man, you got the connection with your cousin.
Larry Bird was a bad-ass white dude, right? But nobody really realized that Larry Bird talks. Most people will credit him with being the best shit talker in the NBA. Big time. But people never said, he's this, he's that. Why? Because you didn't picture that in him, and you don't. And America doesn't naturally position Caucasian people as a villain. It just doesn't.
Can I add
now, liberal media lately, they do, even unfairly sometimes.
Real quick. I'm going to give B the floor. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear.
He went through his whole thing. I was on mine.
Where was I? I get so lost.
I didn't cut him off. He went through the whole thing.
I thought. I'm just enjoying the moment right here. I love when y'all.
I'm gonna give my 2 cents here real quick. First of all, I don't know shit about sports. I don't know shit about basketball, men or women. I love that. Like, on one hand, I'm, like, very happy that women's basketball is being talked about. On the other hand, you know, I just hate the pitting of women against each other. But whatever, at least is being talked about. I think that I try to never put myself in a position to discredit, especially somebody who is not white. I try not to discredit what they are describing their experience as because I don't know. It's very similar to a man telling me how I should feel in a certain situation. I understand that you have an opinion, but we see the world from different perspectives. So I try not to look at Reese and say, you know, you're wrong or you're right about how you're being perceived or, you know, whatever the case is because I don't know. I think it's black and white. What she did literally. Literally. To me, what Reese did felt borderline aggressive. It felt. I think there's a very different level of disrespect.
You can't say that, though, and then talk about it's this.
Between, I mean, you think when Bryce, when do they do bat flips? When does that happen? They hit a home run and they do a bat flip. So to me, that's like it's like I just did something badass. I'm going to do this little celebration. I don't think it's like an outwardly disrespectful, you know, thing to do.
It wasn't disrespectful.
Hold on. Some people like it, some people don't. So I think the little hand motion that she does, you know, it's kind of taunting, but it's fleeting. It passes very quickly. You follow me around for 15 seconds?
Seconds, not minutes.
15, that's a long time. Watching her, that was uncomfortable.
You're talking about 15 seconds with 10 seconds of that being the clock ticking down on the national championship.
Matter of fact, you should have been like...
Name, and Raina mentioned males.
I'd have been like, look,
like men don't get criticized for it. Because they don't do it like that. They don't do it in the last little bit. They don't seek out that other player.
But why would she suck out? Was it not right? There's a reason why she sucked her specifically out. If she wasn't
because she had attention, because people were
because of her antics. Because of your antics,
because she was performing. What do you mean? You don't. Your antics only go so far. In a national championship, regardless of your antics, if you're not that bitch like fucking Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all of them,
I'm saying Reese has owned her every time she's played her.
She has 100%. I mean. She scored 30. She scored 31.
She's a scorer. Yeah, right. Everybody scored. Everybody's not a scorer.
So she didn't own her, but like it just never happens in that last 10 seconds. They seek them out. They go out.
There's other examples.
And I would call all of those excessive. The only one I can think of is the Super Bowl Tyreek Hill and Winston Jr.
The piece.
Why you do it? Excessive. Incredible. And I love it, and I support it, and I still support it, and he deserved it. Caitlin Clark opened herself up for it, but to not call it what it is, which is excessive, creates this issue that I'm talking about. And I will stand on this hill that we need to not automatically default to everything is racial, and it seems like that's where we're going. So I will scream from the top of my lungs that something isn't if I can try and validate it.
It's when you look at who's saying what, and you look and... I'll give you a perfect example.
But
I've been having a 2-month argument on accident about Tech 9 and the fact that the only people that are going to stand up on the hill for Tech 9 all look a certain way. Mm-hmm. And it is what it is. That's just his fan base. Cool. In this situation, most of the people who are like, Reese is wrong, they're white. Most people who are like, and this is the thing, this is just a racial divide. Most of the people who understand where Reese is coming from are black.
I think you could argue over and I haven't done any research on this, but I think you could argue on, for example, if you looked at the word choice and how Reese is being portrayed and because a lot of times they will use very different words to describe people who look differently, and I think if you argued that point and had some data to back it up that hey, she's being called these specific kind of racially triggering words like ghetto or hood or she described herself ignorant. As those, but or whatever, then I think that could be and I'm not saying that happened, but I think that's where you could make the racial argument is if there was something specific like that. But when you're just looking looking at the action,
if we flip this around and this was Clark doing this at the end of a game,
I would have thought it was trash. I would have thought you're a sore winner, and I think that's a trash move. No, but
flip it around. So this whole time, Angel Reese has been doing this to other people. No, and then you go and do this back to her because she's been doing it. Because it's not like Angel Reese has been doing this to other people all season.
Why'd you wait until the game was over?
Because I want to make sure you know.
Right.
Because I want to make sure I win.
That's the smartest thing you can do.
No, that's cowardly, right? You told me what was cowardly.
Cowardly is not doing it in their face.
Bullshit,
if you got something to say to me, you do it in my face.
That's
you don't go to your little bench like a little bitch.
Wrap
and do
that
it.
shit. Wrap
you do it
this
to
shit
my
up.
face.
Wild.
We gotta go.
Real quick in the comments, J-Rock says, apples to oranges, can't compare players that play different positions. Both set records in their own positions. Hell yeah, they both did.
Damn right.
Because he's comparing her scoring. That's what she does. She's a scorer. She should do scoring.
Yeah.
No, she's a great scorer.
Right,
said fight. This is what the game is. All right, score more points. That's the point of the game.
No, well, it is.
I think we're deadlocked. 2-2.
That's only the people who don't really watch the game. You also should try to stop the other team from scoring more points.
They did not.
Wait, is that how this works? You're supposed to stop them?
It goes both ways.
Again, listen,
defense matters too.
But I'm on Angel Reese's side. I just want to be very clear in that.
At the end of the day,
I love what she did. I just think it was excessive, and we need to
just call a spade a spade.
Right.
I don't think it's Angel Reese versus Clark. I think it's the media portrayal and the media's game.
Who though? That's what I keep saying. Who?
Who?
Dave Portnoy, Keith Olbermann.
No. I'm just talking about
who else?
Media as far as television.
But who is nobody on there criticized her, right? Everybody came to her defense on it, but no real TV personalities or anybody criticized her.
Society, the way society.
People in the comments,
Twitter comments or Twitter comments.
Everything, just people in general, because you represent a portion of society. You view it a certain way. Now, I don't think
I'm a bot.
I don't think of you as being. You're not looking at it from a racial standpoint. You're omitting it, and trying to say that it is not racial, but it was excessive, and that's why people are paying more attention. How do you keep scooping further back? I don't know. I'm moving. I don't know.
Here's what it is. This is what we're going to end on right here. Okay. At the end of the day, let's just all be happy that women's basketball is getting a shit ton of attention.
Like I said.
We've had this conversation before about the WNBA and the NBA and the differences between the pay. Let's just end it on a good note.
You guys, what if this
help? Do you think this will help? I think women's college basketball, in the tournament especially, has always been interesting.
I mean, college period is so much better than professional sports. Period.
I don't like now because the NFL. I like college football, but it ain't the NFL. It ain't the best of the best playing the best of the best. But what you're having is that women's basketball is marketed bad. If they would market it better, look like the reason that this game was what it is because you gave us understanding via the media what these teams were. You created an image for these teams, and you made people have an interest in it. You have a player that you highlighted in Clark that drew attention. you have to do that with the female game in general. You have to, like, the fact that I can't tell you who won the WNBA championship. And I like sports. I can't tell you who the MVP of that league was. It should be in my face. She should be on commercials for everything she could be, anything possible, especially things that women care about, because you need to get the audience of women to care about the sport.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I think we need to just wrap it up here. I think we need to just call it a night on this one, and because that WNBA, NBA topic, I think that can go on for way too long. But anyways, for the people that are in the comments, we appreciate it. Thank you for showing us the love. I'm one of them, actually.
Yeah, Jason's one of them.
All four of y'all in the in the live, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and you know what to do. Make sure to hit that share button. Share this video. Share the fuck out of this video.
And if you watch this video later, feel free to still shoot in the comments what you think about some of these things, and we'll talk. Maybe we'll recap them and talk about them on the next show. We appreciate y'all.
And what did B used to say? Go ahead.
One.